Vic Carucci joins us, columnist, writer for the Buffalo News, also host Sirius XM NFL Radio. Good morning, Vic. How's morale in Buffalo?
Good morning, Dan. Not so good. Not so good.
All right. Take me. When did you realize Vontae Davis had decided to quit/retire?
Well, it's interesting because, you know, we're sitting in the press box, and you of course, you try to pay attention to all that you can see, not just inside the white lines, but using binoculars, watching the sidelines. And at one point, one of my colleagues said, "You see Vontae Davis anywhere?" And I'm looking. This is in the third quarter. I was like, "Yeah, you know, I don't see number 22. Where is he?" And we're kind of going up. And then of course you assume an injury, and then you check with PR, and you're getting no response there. So something was up. And no, the last thing anyone thought for even a second is that he took his uniform off, put the street clothes on, and headed out of Orchard Park for good.
What did his teammates say?
They were a little upset, Dan, just to say the least. It was an angry bunch. I mean, look, you're on the wrong end of a 31-20 game. It's another embarrassing performance, and this defense, of course, has become really the focal point of this 0-2 start because it was expected to be better, and he was expected to be a part of this. He started the game. I mean, he was the starter opposite Tre'Davious White, and his teammates were mad. Lorenzo White, 35-year-old, veteran, Kyle Williams, they were angry. Lorenzo Alexander, said he couldn't remember a time in any level of football where this happened. Kyle Williams used this phrase. He said he's where he needs to be, and then a reporter filled in, meaning not here, and Kyle says exactly.
Okay. Aside from this, Josh Allen, how would you assess Josh Allen's performance?
I thought it was encouraging. I think that's the right word. He definitely did some rookie things, and the two interceptions he threw, I think, were both avoidable, as he talked about plays. One where he's in the process of being sacked, and really what he should have done was either taken the sack or thrown the ball away, but he couldn't help himself. He's trying to make something happen, so he heaves a desperation ball in the direction of Marcus Murphy. That gets picked off. But and there were like overall 5 sacks that he took, and I would say on 3 of them, Dan, he probably was not decisive enough with what to do, and so the Charger defense, with a lot of different mixing up of fronts and coverages, did exactly what you should do against a rookie. But the encouraging thing is he has the ability to make some rare throws that I think that the rare talent in his arm allows him to do, and that'll get better. Can run and run effectively when it's needed. But I think more than anything, listening to his teammates, they love the command that he showed in the huddle, and they love the attitude, the approach. The kid, once he found out on Wednesday that he's the guy, the cliche, first guy in, last guy out, that seemed real based on what his teammates said.
Is this managerial tanking? I know the players are trying to win, but it just feels like Buffalo is farther and farther away from being a playoff team.
Yeah, it makes you wonder where it's going. Now, the presumption going into this year was, even though it was a playoff season last year, they would likely take a backward step before they started going forward, just because you rebuild so much of this roster. You had 3 spots you filled on the offensive line, had to replace on the line alone, and you didn't expect the Eric Wood retirement and the Richie Incognito blow-up, all of that. So those were maybe some unanticipated things. But that all said, they've changed over a lot of this roster, and you need to assume it's going to take a step back. I just didn't think, though, it would look this far back in only 2 games. And when the Vontae Davis thing, by Wednesday, we're going to really kind of move on and forget about that. What will linger, Dan, though, I think, is the judgment in bringing this guy in. This guy was brought in as a starter, right, and Pro Bowler, and so for to get a guy like that who walks out on teammates, I think it's going to make a lot of other players scratch their heads.
Yeah, just trying to figure out what to expect out of Buffalo, and I don't expect much, but now I'm looking at, if I'm a Browns fan, I feel a whole lot better after looking at Buffalo. And who would have thought that going into the season, Dick?
No, you're absolutely right. Those are my thoughts exactly. That in in a 0-1-1 start for the Browns, they look more competitive. They look more engaged than the 0-2 Bills. No question.
Good stuff, Vic. I'm sure it'll be interesting in Orchard Park here in the next couple of days. But thanks for joining us.
My pleasure, Dan. Anytime.
That's Vic Carucci. He's a Bills writer, Buffalo News, Sirius XM NFL radio host as well. Yeah, I know Vontae Davis will get got more attention than he probably deserved. It's just rare that a guy quits at halftime. And that's it. I mean, that's his legacy. You spent 10 years to try to build a legacy, and now when somebody goes, oh, are you going to Vontae Davis? Like he's going to, right? Are you going to Vontae Davis me? Are you going to Vontae Davis the team?
For more Dan Patrick Show, tune to Audience Channel 239 on DirecTV or download the Dan Patrick Show app.